Audio descriptions will appear here.
I want it for us, and I also want it from us.
The screen fades open, taking us to a lock, a bright, slowly moving vast body of water. Dressed in the mist of silvery blue, the hills sleeping in the distance, blanketed under a smog of the sky. There is a bright sunlight illuminating the smog from behind, and the gaze is gentle. Softly the visuals settle into the comfort of the rippling waves as they continue to roll magnificently before the colour drains to black.
The myth of independence.
Subtitled text centred against a black screen.
Let me tell you a story about this myth. On a rich voyage for better things, a welter of cloud encircled the earth. The sky was crying for the world it looked down upon, for how had life become so broken and cruel. Its people were lost, left to strap on their individualized armor, the combat tools given against organized neglect. When I lived in that world, the armour didn't fit my queer and neurodivergent body. But then, the armour didn't fit many bodies. And even for those whose bodies it did fit, it didn't stop the force, only dulling the blows. The individualised armour was known to be an empty tool, working only as a way to avoid addressing the many inequities and problems. With their own security so fragile, the people were told to be resilient, but this concept was not a truth, and deep down they knew they didn't need to live in competition, isolation and scarcity, no matter how hard the world implied it. Working together, they built systems of resistance and refusal. They learned to be both weak and strong, to live beautiful lives, interconnected lives, to give and receive care, exposing the myth and refusing their given narratives.
Opening to a scene of two dancers, dancing in an empty red brick industrial space. Clare and Lesley stand centred in the frame, both with white, long-sleeved t-shirts and grey trousers. Clare, she/her, is a white woman in her early 20s. She has brown, long hair which is parted in a low ponytail. She is deaf and wears 2 hearing aids, which are silver and black with pink moulds. Lesley, she/they, is also a white female in her early 20s. Her hair is long, blonde and tied back also. Clare twists Lesley by the shoulders, hand then moving to the nape of Lesley's neck as Lesley arches their back, melting into a support provided. Their energy and movement radiate care, a visible trust between them. The screen blinks to black before showing their movements again. Back to back, their bodies fluidly snake, both into and around one another. A movement that is gentle, intuitive, fluid. They continue to move together in an empty industrial room, unless we are blinking to black and then moving back to their movement. Blink.
I come from a place where I'm upside down and dreaming of a future, dreaming of our bodies, dreaming without time. I want to talk to you about where I am and how I got here. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. I would like for you to move with me, move at the speed of trust. Blink.
Lesley signs.
I come from a place where I'm upside down and dreaming of a future, dreaming of our bodies, dreaming without time.
Dancing, Clare throws her hands into the air before turning back and to softly look at Lesley, and their movement continues.
I once read that the sign that the end had come would be the eclipse of the sun and the moon. Checking for this eclipse, I would stare into the sky, looking for a light, looking to know it was not the end. I would stare into the sun to check the light was really there. I thought I would know when things got bad because the light would leave. But when things got bad, there was no eclipse.
Blinks to black.
But a large set of jaws that slowly got closer, pointed teeth that pierced into my projections, crushing the sky to pieces.
Fades to black.
Under this pressure, the stars once mine now fell about me in sharp pieces. I didn't know what to do without the sky, for those teeth bit me and my son so hard. They destroyed my belief in a future, in time.
The dancers' bodies cyclically falling and then rising up, stumbling, then finding their rhythm.
I don't think I really recovered from that, from seeing this cascade of what I was meant to be, of what I thought the world was meant to be.
Clare stretches her arms open, like a bird, puffing their chest for flight.
Blink. From the drips, I tried to construct a life, not utopic, that was gone, but Edenic. Cradling one another, they follow the energy across their arms. I wanted a form of life that wasn't pulsating forwards, puffing their chests before leaning into one another, but one that loiters through the intensities of form and force.
Lesley's cheek pressed to the side of Clare's head. They cradle Clare's chin, gently spinning her away.
The life I desired was gentle, lush, verdant, and full. I tried to construct a vision in which we would measure time in moments, holding on to the right moment.
They hold each other, twisting one another's arms in a windmill.
The opportune, the perfect moment. The new world takes a breath.
Blink.
And in the pause before it exhales, fates can be changed.
Back to back, they roll their necks into each other's shoulders from right to left and back again. White subtitles over a blank screen.
When the world took a breath for me, I held my own breath too, waiting.
Fading open to a white background, Clare signs and then the dancers return.
I realised that to access support, I first needed to acknowledge what it was that I needed and what it was that I wanted. And to communicate that involved an act of sharing. In sharing, you offer your hands out, and in that offer, you whisper a call for solidarity, which is often asking for help with a need that you currently don't have met, or one that is systemically underserved. And that is a really hard thing to do. As I talk to you, my hands are out. I am sharing.
Focused on the dancers' hands, we watch them trace each other's movements. Almost touching, but not quite. Holding the tension of space and energy. They both turn to face forwards, wide-eyed. Focused. Lesley and then Clare sign.
I want a world that is for dependence. Dependence not as a form of exchange or labour, but as an intrinsic part of what makes us human beings.
Dancing.
Where my ability to function is not measured on my ability to live independently, or to be resilient, or exist in isolated freedom, or to assimilate into a system that hurts. I want for us to come together to create structures of interdependence, ones that allow us to flourish, rest, live and care, as much as for ourselves as for others.
Lesley signs, and Clare repeats.
For I need you and you need me.
Arms extended, they melt into the ground, mirrored movements, stretching, leaning.
Feeling fragmented, the expectations of life hit me like a blunt instrument. The intensity of it all, so hot, so loud, and I felt like I couldn't do it. Blink.
Blink. White subtitles over a black screen.
In this life, the moon above me was sick with sorrow, and I watched it dripping tears of fog, auburn ash sparks of a singed grief, fading like the words I didn't have yet. It wasn't just furious flames, it was a waxen haze of a continuous dull ring, dripping through my ears and humming down my chest. My body held in a shallow dance to a faltered rhythm. A mind lost, hovering ajar from my frame.
Clare signs.
The more I found support in others, the more I learned about my heart, and the more I learned about my mind.
Lesley stands, and Clare rises from her knees, gripping hands and leaning apart, suspended in tension.
I found quiet in thinking about stardust, closing my eyes so tight I could hear the universe throb. Eyes held so tight I started seeing light cracking through the cage of the sun, twinkling down in a hopeful glow. I gave myself back to the stars. I gave myself back to people. I found love in unlearning and in learning, in understanding and in time.
They both sigh.
I let myself dream. We expose ourselves when we feel it is safe to do so. Will you make it safe? Because we all deserve a bright future. We all deserve this because we are all powerful, we are all valued, and we all have things to offer. All of us. Run with me to the lake.
We open to a jetty extending into the water. Standing in the distance, the dancers leap in the bridge, their bodies dressed in fog lightly damp with rain. They twist and jump in improvised and felt expression, together in unity but moving towards their own rhythm. Their white t-shirts radiating light as they throw their arms to the sky, in their brightness pushing through the mist. And they look free, standing at the shore.
What do you think it would mean if we embraced bathing in the tail end of light, swimming in the wake, Not running forwards, but lingering behind. What if I let waves wash my body and they pulled the cage of my chest apart? The way water can open us up when we arrive at something vulnerable.
Lesley stands behind Clare, with their arms extending around Clare's body. Squinting into the rain, they both focus on a space where their hands almost meet, tracing an invisible energy with care and attention. Their interlocked arms glide around each other, hands extending forwards, reaching. It is as though they're cradling the energy, giving it care to build and grow.
If I asked you, would you come be a pirate with me? Would you come trespass upon the sea as a plane to flee this world? At the lake, would you wash me in salt water, dress me in silk?
Clare signs.
Would you come with me into the communal dream? Dancing on the jetty. Would you run with me from the shattered wind, stand together as we resist and reconcile with our participation in this oppressive system? How will you act when the call comes to piece ourselves back together too quickly, only to find we have rebuilt what we wanted to stay broken? If we create the world we want to inhabit together, we will know ourselves to be unfractured, the opposite of a fragment, a whole.
Opens to a wide view of the loch, blanketed hills, silvery skies, Clare and Lesley centred as small figures on the edge of the water, dancing, jumping, spinning.
Will you hold one another, care for one another, exist in interdependency? Running from the world that does not serve us, we are strong enough to build our own, held together by the beat of our hearts and a power that is fluid, gorgeous, contaminating.
Opens to white, and then the dancing at the loch continues until the end.
I look so beautiful, so alive, and if I trust you, I'll let you look right inside of me. Together in alliance, we will exist somewhere between the end of the world and the edge of existence, dying with our spirits intact.